So we are back again. Now, I want to talk about something which is really close to my heart: interview performance. And for that, I would need to take the help of what I call thinking in terms of a linear equation. Why do we need that? The reason we need a linear equation is it's often very difficult to realize that it's not one factor which affects an outcome, it's often a lot of factors which are at play. Now, when you try to think it that way, let's try to model, say, interview performance, which is Y, as, say, performance. And, oh, okay, great. What we can do is Y is performance, X1 is temperament, X2 is okay, so X2 in my mind, an independent, is specific, interview specific knowledge, and X3 would be luck. So what I mean here is Y is some kind of function of x1, x2, x3. Now you can obviously put it something like, hey, Y is equal to f of x1, x2, x3. Yes, that can be a good approximation. Okay, but the point remains the same. I would prefer this simply because it gives us the capability to give weightage to things, which is difficult to model in this unnecessary complication. Okay, but you see the point. Now, when I think of all this, I want you to know that every interview performance will have different weightage for different things. Sometimes you are just unlucky. So I'll give you cases, okay? Cases. Just unlucky. Then C is very high. Okay? You are very nervous. Then it means your X1 is low. Because your temperament, what is temperament? Let's go into temperament. Temperament, in my mind, is equal to questions solved when you are relaxed by questions solved when you are giving an interview and are a bit nervous. You see the difference? So you could say that, hey, you know what? Your low temperament means your potential is not utilized. You see my point? So that's X1 for you. Okay, I'll come at the cases. Okay, let me talk about luck very late. Then you have X2, which is interview specific knowledge, which is often, hear me out, questions which might not be related to actual day-to-day job, but are important for the interview because of any random reason. A lot of people don't realize it, that interviews can be totally orthogonal. Specific knowledge can be completely unrelated to what is required for the job, but is often some kind of differentiator for the hiring team or manager or company. I'll give you examples. Sometimes they call something like, hey, culture fit. Sometimes it will be DSA. For example, a very good example of interview specific knowledge is DSA is often a risk averse, clear differentiator for the hiring manager, because it is one, it is objective, it is fairly level playing field, okay, has precedence, and more importantly it has what we call low false positives, or false negatives, false true negatives, no, low false negatives, basically true negatives, okay, low false positives or low false negatives, okay, I always get confused in this, but low chances of hiring someone who is not actually good. Okay, what I'll do is I'll show you a trick here, by the way. So control K, control I, okay. Difference between false positive and false negative. Okay, false positive candidate is actually good but is able to clear the interview round. It's not. Okay, low. So it's false positive. Did you see what I did, by the way? Difference. Let me ask Claude. Okay. Okay. So, companies or hiring managers can often resort to DSA to decrease the chances of a false negative, a false positive. Okay, cool. If you find out that I'm wrong on this one, don't blame me, blame windsurf. I'll talk further on DSA. DSA is also a very good differentiator for hiring managers, because when you interview 5 candidates, it is difficult for 2 candidates to score the same in the 5 DSA rounds. You will always find some kind of difference. It means the scale of performance over 5 rounds will often have some variance. Think of it this way, right? In an exam, if everyone scores 95, then you cannot decide who is the best candidate. So you need a way to reliably differentiate candidates. So some should score 90, some should score suppose 80, and so on, so that you can confidently say that the candidate scoring 90 is the best candidate. And hence, a lot of interviews depend on DSA, despite all the questions being available in the public domain. Can you imagine this? It's such a huge point, by the way. Cool. Okay, so we are done with interview specific knowledge. Interview specific knowledge can be, something people don't pay attention to. So a lot of interviewers just ask top 100 questions in that whatever interview theme, and maybe those top 100 questions are something which you would not care about, and even the language expected, you expect from the candidates might not be, what is the right word for it? It's a language as in verbiage, okay, like how you answer the question. Expected from candidates might not be related again to your day job. So this is huge, okay? We talked about interview specific knowledge, we talked about interview specific knowledge, we talked about temperament. You are not prepared for the interview game, did not read what is often asked, then X2 is low. And then the third is, you cannot imagine how many times it is just that the interviewer somehow is not in a good mood and asks you a tough question, or is not open, or in a hurry, or had a fight with his girlfriend. Could be anything. Okay, so that could be anything, and even that can affect your interview performance. So sometimes you just don't know what will happen. But these two things are pretty clear: temperament and interview specific knowledge. There can be other factors as well, but for now, I think this is a good place to start. And pay attention to this. Do not question the interview game. Just do not crib about it. Do not say, why do they ask this? If you do that, it's not helpful for you. So embrace the game, the rules, accept the rules, and then exploit the rules. Okay? Don't get riled up. Why do they ask this? No, it's no use to you. If you know the rules, or at least whatever you know, just try to immerse yourself in them, master them, and then exploit them. I think master is a better word here. Cool. I think this is a good place to start. I think I need another session for temperament. I'll talk about it, okay? In the next video. See you when I see you.